Hey there, Dark Star here. We have new toys. New toy is head tracker, yay. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. It's not a game changer like a lot of people say. And it requires a lot of tweaking. We should have had a better calibration mode. It needs to put some stuff up on your screen and be like, look here, look here, look here, look here, and calibrate from that or something. Okay, so I think I need some bindings too. Alright, so this is with head tracker on now. So we're currently in the Kodiak, where I got the amphibious Kodiak, that's the other new toy. So I got the floats on there. So they're having their spring sale right now, so a lot of the planes are off. This was $10. Now you'll be able to see when I look over to see if there's chat or anything. That's not the only reason to look over there. I'm also on the Discord voice, if anybody wants to join that. Let's see. Okay, we already got our RPMs down to 2,000. I want to lean this out a little bit. Last time I tried this, I killed the engine. So, a little dangerous in this plane. I wonder if I could just tweak it here. Because I'm not getting the fuel flow down as low as I should be able to. So about 175 knots, slowing down a little bit maybe. How's the weather out here? I think I need to accelerate that turn to the left just a little bit. And one of the things I really don't like, and I haven't figured out how to solve yet, is I am not moving my head other than turning it. And it zooms in like that when I turn to the right. When I turn to the left, it kind of tends to fade back a little bit. I've tweaked that out. So let's see if we can. So you have to like mess with all these things. That's not right. Now when I reset the position, it's like looking over there. I have to be looking, oh god, it's even worse now. So if I look down here and reset my position and then look up, now it's okay. So I give it to look in some weird random direction. Maybe if I do, nope. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's try this. So I want to get rid of this zoom in effect when we turn to the right. So that's going to be Z, right? And we're down here on the Z when that's happening. So I want to pull that out. Now it doesn't zoom in as much. But now, when we lean forward, it hits this curve and zooms in real fast. So we can't lean in as much as we were. So it's trade-offs like that. But I think looking around is probably more important than leaning in. Because I can zoom in a little bit too still. And then just lean a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. I think I need to make a mouse button to reset the position too. Seems to drift pretty quickly. Oh, did we close that already? Let's try one other thing. Let's so if we're looking this way, that's going to be yaw. And looking to the left is over here, so maybe we want this to be a little steeper. Okay, and then to the right, I think we also need that to be steeper. Now it's a little too sensitive to motion, so let's stretch those out a little. We won't be able to see as far. I think that's the other thing. I think we want max input 90. Okay, that feels pretty well matched to what my brain expects. Pitch. Gonna look up and down. Seems pretty good. Roll I have turned off actually. It's a different setting. So I can't tilt my head to the side, but otherwise it's just too much weird motion when you're moving. So X is, I can't remember, it might be this way. Yeah, X is this way, sideways. Y is up and down. Z is forward and backwards. We already tweaked that one a little bit. And it has like max input and max output. Like here I can only lean forward or back 15 centimeters. But I get 75 centimeters of effective motion, so it's a little accelerated. Maybe that's dumb because I have these flat. I don't know. I can't go any lower though. Okay. So now if I look centered on the screen, like straight ahead, and I hit my home, that's what I get. That's okay. I will show you the other setting you can go into here. There's an option setting, and you can offset like your pitch and your yaw and your other values. So I did like kind of naturally look down a little bit from this position. So back to home, that's home. And then of course there's a key where you can turn off head tracking. So now it's just back to my keyboard. In case I need that. One thing I don't like, and maybe that's what this is doing, so let's turn it back on. And this is your little octopus guy, so that's kind of what it's doing. And then these are the three little spots. You have these three little infrared emitters velcroed to your headset. There's a setting that I'm not yet sure what it does. Relative mode on. don't think that's what I want. One thing I wish you could do, I wish it would, it gets to a point where it stabilizes and freezes. And to me, it does that a little too easily. Here, so I'll set my dead zone to 0. I don't know what these do. Smoothing. I guess one way to find out what things do is go all the way up. Oh, that is jittery. Definitely want some smoothing here. But all the way up was way too much. It seems better. It's still doing this thing where, like, I'm moving a little bit and it isn't. See, I would have thought dead zone would take care of that. Like, I wanted to always move with my head. But not be jittery. I feel like smoothing unjitters it a little bit. There are something, it does make like flying around harder in some ways. Let's see what we have here for settings on our mouse. I don't think I use these, so. No. Okay, let's get rid of, oh. Okay, that's auto throttle disconnect. It detects the motion of the mouse too easily. I wonder if I can bind my mouse here to say like on and off. Let's see, bind, toggle. Ooh, that might work. Let's get rid of this mapping. Okay, great. Now I can toggle it with just a mouse click instead of having to do like Control Shift keyboard functions. a little bit too sensitive right in this position. It needs to be less sensitive in the middle. I wonder if that can be done in the mapping. Yeah, the problem is it's too much of a dead zone. I don't really want a dead zone. I just want it to be smoother in the middle. Okay, well, we're out of the clouds, so let's get our ice off. And let's start talking about our runway 27 proc. Zooming in again when I look sideways. That is going to be Z. I thought we fixed this. It's like it's losing my settings. I didn't even restart it or anything. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. Alright, do we have a top of descent? We do. 44 minutes. I guess we're not in a big hurry. So I'm in the cargo version of this. So the water rudder is here. I also have a binding for that. I don't know what this thing's supposed to be. These are the gear. And then, other than that, it's a lot like a regular Kodiak. Kind of what I want is to be able to use like keyboard and mouse combos to let me move around a little bit more. Like you can hold down, like this is holding down right mouse button, and then I can use mouse look with that, and I can turn my head. We need better ways to interact with VR though. It's definitely nice for looking to the side. Kind of at a glance. I was trying to do some aerobatics last night with it. I didn't have it tuned in even as well as I do now, not that it's perfect. It's not as disturbing as I thought it would be. I was thinking, like, every time you turn your head to look over there, it's going to turn the other way. That could be difficult, but it seems to work pretty well. With some effort. Just needs to be smoother. Uh-oh, clouds. So I took off from a water runway and I'm gonna land on a water runway. They were a little hard to find. I couldn't find them using the map even. AK81 and AK48 are the two that I found using the little nav map database. I did a flight earlier from somewhere down here, I don't remember where. I was flying up and I was trying to lean out the engine, and I moved my lever just a little too far, and it instantly goes all the way off and cuts off the engine. I'm at 25,000 feet when this happened. I'm like, okay. So, you know, I got the plane kind of trimmed up for, I think it's about 500 feet per minute descent. And then, well, you know, I mean, you trim for your airspeed. I think it was about 80 knots or whatever. I don't know what the longest glide airspeed is on this thing, but probably somewhere down there. I think it's usually around your best climb. If you have like a VY, you probably want to use that. But I was at 25,000 feet and I wasn't that far from a pretty big airport, so I turned towards that airport. So I trimmed out the plane, tried to start the engine, and the ITT just goes up to 1,200 immediately, and it's doing that thing where it's not ever going to start again, which I find kind of odd. Should probably turn our oxygen on. I was flying from somewhere down here, and I was going to fly into this one, the AEN, but I didn't make it. And then, of course, the plane is destroyed permanently as far as the game is concerned. There's no in-game way to reset it. You have to go find the magic state.cfg file is what you have to find. And it's way down in there under sim objects, airplanes, your specific airplane and model, and then there's a state.cfg file. You can edit that. So I'm looking over my other monitor. I can pretend like I'm just looking outside here. Yeah, I'm just looking out the left window. Watch it for traffic. A little jerky though. Let's try that smoothing thing a little bit more. Filter. Smooth it out, maybe. A minute. I don't like the way it leans in, but that's the only way I can make the right look work. I could get rid of lean and just use zoom and keyboard. I could do keyboard zoom. Do that all day. So they did upgrade the Kodiak. I don't know if I've shown that on stream yet. So if you have a Kodiak, either the old one or the amphibian one, they've improved the Garmin quite a bit. You got flaps and elevator trim and stuff on here now. These things are labeled. They weren't labeled before. I feel like I did talk about it once, but one thing you can do in your state.config is that's where your engine hours are here. So I combined all mine together, and so I gave it like 100 hours, whatever. Oh, that's what those two different numbers are. Interesting. I don't know which one counts what. I don't think any of these. Oh, they're alive. Cool. So one thing I do is I do stream in 4K, and someone pointed out the other day that makes everything hard to see. I think if you don't have 4K. So that was fair. We're now 35 minutes from top of descent. So if I'm going to do like autopilot tutorials and stuff, I'll try and zoom in on the avionics more. I'm on the Discord voice chat if you want to join. If I rotate my chair, it does that. Oh, that's a nice looking view. Alaskan mountains. Remember what I wanted to do now. We can get these off again. I wonder if they're going to add in some kind of effect for de-icing. So apparently it makes it hard to see out of the window when you actually use it. See, it's way too stable. Do the breathing effect. I don't know, I feel like they haven't nailed the algorithms for this yet. So I don't know, what do you think? Does it make the video more annoying? Or is like this too stable? Feel too stiff. One thing I'm looking forward to trying it in is re-entry. Let's see, we have Discord on, we have Flight Sim on, we have mic on, we have Beyond ATC on, but I'm not using it right now. Oh, let's check in on NeoFly. I don't think I have anything to do until tomorrow. I think I'm about done with NeoFly. I might start over. I want to get to 1 billion. So like maybe, you know, another week maybe. I'm having some performance issues with it, which makes it not so fun. Fortunately, I only have to kick off 1 mission per plane every day right now. I could almost fit in 2 on some, but you have to let your pilots rest up in between as well. I was thinking with some modifications, a mobile kind of flight management game would be kind of fun. Yeah, so here's our NeoFly right now. We got 566 million. Got our fleet. So we have 4 747-8s and 6 787-10s. And they are bringing in pretty good dollars. So the 747s, I get about 15 million. Here's a 16 million mission. For these, I get somewhere between 7.5 and 11 million per flight. These take about 12 hours. These take about 15 hours. Like, I don't even do NeoFly missions anymore myself. I just let the these guys do it. Because I want to get to 1 billion. But anyway. Get about 150 million a day or so. I almost think if they added a little smoothing to this, it would almost feel like you had a head tracker. So let's see, head tracker on. Head tracker off. Yeah, I like that being on the mouse. We got about 20 something minutes. Like I say, feel free to pop in on the Discord if you wish. Meanwhile, I'm going to make some little sandwiches. That's what autopilot is for. As well as wireless headsets. Can you imagine flying in the old days when there was no autopilot? It had to be painful. I mean, you get the plane pretty well trimmed out. snowy over there. Pretty capable plane though. I like this. Apparently they're about 2.5 million. The new Series 2 could run you 3 million. A PC-12 apparently is 5 million. Probably end up. PC-12 direct operating cost is around $800 per flight hour, compared to the King Air and 350, which are roughly 1,500 and 1,300 per flight hour. Annual fixed cost for the PC-12 ranges from 200,000 to 210,000. Plus the 800 per flight hour, probably assuming some number of flight hours. what's this? Iraq Cycle 2504 is now available and be automatically installed with players next launch, either Flight Sim 2020 or 2024. Okay. I wonder if that comes along with a world database update. I mean, not the database, but the actual world update. Do they ensure all those airports exist in game? Why can't the YouTube mobile app see my stream? I want to get a link. I want to get a link. Oh, you know what? I probably don't need that. I can go here. Cancel that. Let's go to an eye on the weather and the time here, so 13 minutes, okay. We don't have any ATC telling us when we can and can't descend. chat, live chat. All chat, all the time, chat. Last time I tried it, opening this little window in flight crashed the plane. Interesting sounds back here. No, PC-12 almost feels like cheating. That's what I'm gonna fly for my around the world tour. Trying to get my buddy to join, but if he doesn't want to, I may just go ahead and start it. People can always join in. How you doing? I wonder if anybody has a thing that will send like YouTube chat into game, put up on the screen. I know NeoFly can inject tips up on the screen, so I would think you could put other text up there. Get something to watch. YouTube chat, post it straight into Flight Sim. Right up here is where we're going to be top of descent. I think that's the end of this body of land at the start of the water. Body of land, is that a thing? Get your shoulder harnesses. Lock those down. Let's see how we doing on fuel. Still in the green, but running low. But we should use considerably less once we get to top of descent, so I think we'll be okay. Oil is all in the green. Fuel flow is a little higher than it should be, but it's a little risky here. Lean it out a bit more. Change much either. Might be broken in here. Oh, we've hit 182 knots. That's not too bad. Let's see, PFD options, synthetic vision. We do not have pathways. This version of the Garmin doesn't have pathways. You can't turn that on. Those are the little sky boxes. That's where you would turn it on if you had it. heading labels is this artificial horizon with like 350.03 there. And of course your synthetic vision, terrain. Change your altitude units. We're in the US, so we should probably change it back to inches. You can add meters to your altitude tape. Wind, I like option 1, that gives you the cross vectors. We also got like wind speed and an arrow direction, and adding in the compass direction, which is good for some things. For landing, I definitely like this option. For flying and planning, this is better. DME, put DME information up here. Let's see if we have anything we can do. Head tracking here for a bit. Okay, we got head up here is one. So 11315. There we go. So that's the station identifier. And now we're getting distance information. So we are 27 nautical miles from TED there. Using DME, you can put that up on the screen. Also, you can say bearing, so that's the direction to TED. And again, you'll see the distance here. You can have the other bearing up here. You can select nav 1, nav 2, ADF, or GPS. But of course, like we already have that. I don't need that extra. I'm not using this teardrop entry here, I just have a straight in entry. So we're probably going to come from about here. I think it's probably where straight would be. So I'll fly and turn onto this final. Looks like we need to get past. I don't know what that is. But as soon as we can get down onto this lake, I want to do that. AK48 is over here. Clean that up a little. Traffic up here. So map op traffic. Put that on. Terrain relative or topographical. I like relative because it starts putting red and yellow up when you might hit things. This doesn't seem to have anything. Weather. And I think you can get charts now. probably aren't any for this airport. Let's see, approach, none. No METAR data. Nada. They are there. You also have checklists. Which is kind of cool. Okay, we're just about to our top of descent. So let's go get our... Probably should have done this before, just making sure. Okay, this is at 154 feet, so I want to get VNAV enabled. And dialing this down will allow us to start our descent. Underwater. Okay, navigational aids, there is a BCQ here. So let's get that in. We gotta go 112. Swap. Alright, now we see our BCQ. We're 32 nautical miles from it. Could be starting our descent now. Why are we not starting our descent? We got altitude down. We got VNAV on. Some weather protection on. Just because, I mean, it is pretty cold out, minus 20. Okay, but we are not descending. I feel like we should have. Why do we have alert blinking and nothing will come up? Go back. There we go. Okay, we'll just manually start the descent. Want to throttle back a little bit. And you see the descent arc come up here. That's where you will, at the current rate of descent and everything, where you would reach your target altitude. So if I'm doing it manually, I want to go up to 1550. And I can't do 50, so I'll do 1500. Now I want to see that arc be but 4 straight. I don't need to go any faster than that. Okay. I see some traffic up here. I think 8,000 below us. Now, and if you're descending faster than you need to, meaning you're going to reach your target altitude before that waypoint, you'll probably intersect your descent path. I don't know, we missed it or something. I think it's armed now. Oh, there's our traffic. I wonder if that is pronounced the Vietnamese way. Vietnamese that's pronounced ba. You could probably figure out the rest. Too bad things don't let you keybind like Control Shift mouse buttons. What? An advisory what? Rainbows. Okay, we passed our VNAV point. So I wonder why it did not lock on. We just descend on our own merry way to 1500. Nice rainbow. Alright, and weather protection comes back on. Go -3 out. I'm on live time and live weather right now. So if you like flying into storms, here's a good area. Alright, I'm going to start slowing down. And of course, as soon as we hit 1500, we're going to slow down really fast. And why aren't we descending? Because we hit VNAV, that's why. We're on V path now. But it shallowed out for us. Which also slowed us way down. Alright, we do not want gear down, so we will leave our gear up. So we're doing a water landing. We are below 138 and 120, so I'm going to go ahead and get in 20 degrees of flaps. We'll save full flaps for once we're on final. I like to just get this phase. I try to hang out around like BY. It's kind of your best climb rate. That's it. Oh, I think it's the flaps. back off. Let's go head tracking for a minute. I might turn it off for the final. Just because you do not want it to like jerk away last minute. We're going to fly across this part of the lake. I think the head tracker needs like a half scale mode. You need to be able to go into, I still want head tracking, but about half what you had going on before. You don't want, like if I look all the way to the left, I should just look over to here, like more limited. All right, there we are on our final. Let's get notch of flaps in. We're a little high on the glide path. We have some. Is that like a crazy amount of wind? It's not great. Like 10 knot crosswind there.
500.
Why did we pick up so much speed already? That's not too bad. Now go into beta and gently reverse thrust. Slow it down. Deploy the rudder, I think. I may have done it twice. There we go. Okay, why did my rudders come up? They didn't. That's down. Okay, they are. Don't know is where is the actual place we're going. And this thing is like impossible. I think it's weather vaning into the wind. But that's a lot of weather vaning there. You know what? The rudders aren't doing anything. That's part of the problem. There, the rudders are down. I think we're roughly where we want to be though, right? I wonder if that red means anything. Is that a marker? It'll let me get any closer. Let's check out our checklists. I'm not a fan of this. Like I get doing it once maybe, but I really is this the real thing? How do I go to the next one? Okay, flaps we got up. Addition lever to low idle. Auxiliary fuel pump off. So we can start getting some lights off. Strobe, nav, we don't need landing. We don't need pitot heat on. Accidental moving of the fuel condition lever aft of the low idle position, causing the NG blah blah 52%, and moving the fuel condition lever back to low idle can result in an IDT over temperature condition if the engine begins to shut down in this situation. Allow the engine to complete its shutdown process, then perform a normal engine start. Okay, this is what I think probably killed my engine in the air. I probably restarted it too soon. So interesting. Now go to next checklist. Enter. Okay, good. I'm not sure what parking brake does when you're floating on the water, but we'll do it. Environmental control, we can get that off now. We can turn off the aux bus. Power lever to idle, it already is. Prop control to feather. Which I have the hardest time doing. Generator and alternator off. ITT stabilized at minimum for 1 minute. So, and then we cut off. I'm gonna go ahead and say, just because of the incessant beeping. Oxygen control, light switches. You're kidding me, shut up. What circuit breaker do I have to pull to make that thing shut up? Well, that worked. Left this one on too, that's awesome. Okay. Fuel selector off if parked on a slope surface. Well, not, but we'll go ahead and turn these off. We want to, that is super obnoxious. We want to unlock these. Avionics master, we will get off. Master switch will come off, and then we tie everything down. Pop this guy out. External covers, yada yada yada. Are we walking on water? What is this? I do wonder if that's supposedly a marker for the where we are, right? I mean, we should be right here. Oh, I wonder if it's because there was a red plane parked here before. That's hilarious. I don't think there's any anchor. I also don't think there's any covers on this plane. Who wants to go bush flying? Okay, let's see if these do anything. Chocks, almost certainly not. Engine, nope. Pedos, nope. Static port. Rotor, we don't even have one. We're not a helicopter. Landing gear. Propeller, now it might move the propeller. Yeah, there it went. Just puts it in like this fixed position. Too bad we don't have an anchor or anything. be kind of cool if it generated buildings you could go into. Like you can't even go upstairs or anything. Alright, so this is AK48. Neat little lake area. So that's my new toy I got today. There's no head tracking right now. And of course another kind of fun plane is the can't remember what it's called, DH2? Yeah, DHC2 maybe? It was just coming across there. Well, I broke it, but I think it's DHC2. They have different cockpit models. Some have more glass than others. I think this one was the one with like no glass. Radio and ADS, old school. I kind of miss flying the Longitude and Courier. We'll do VIP. I really want the new PC Tool Pro. With the Garmin avionics. Oh yeah, I've got the BN2 as well. That's kind of fun. Piston. I'll probably get the turboprop version since it's on sale. Can't remember what it's called. Let's go down around Unalaska though. The Aleutian Islands. You know, I would start cold and dark, but it's pretty easy to start the EC12. Not that interesting.
Papa Alpha Uniform Tango traffic. Dark Star Charlie Alpha Hotel 1812. Taking off runway 27. West departure, Papa Alpha Uniform Tango traffic.
Takeoff.
Let's go. We'll go RNAV. I can't remember which of these are better to pick. We should have a preview. I think it's supposed to, but it does not. I definitely don't want to go way back to there. Probably that one. Yeah. Wait. We don't have it. That's weird, it has a different list. I don't think we have any departures here. Oh, we do. Z-Bub. There's a hold here. We won't fly that though. Alright, so we're gonna come out here, take a little bit of a right, then follow our fan out, and hope for good weather. What's the weather look like here? It's pretty clear. Oh, we didn't get this changed? First of all, we want 13 here. We want that to be RNAV 13. And we were going to depart here via Z-Bub. There we go. This is kind of out and around. Now when you come in here, you're flying into Dutch Harbor here. The RNAV or the NDB will bring you in here, but then you have to kind of cut across here and then turn onto this final yourself. Because the runway's aligned like this. So... And the NDB wants to bring you in right across here. And then you'd have to fly over it and then come around and then land. Okay, synthetic vision on. I don't think we're going to use any autopilot today, so. Back on the throttle. Get our wee little bit of flaps up. And we'll start our right. We're just flying visual, so we're going to try and stay out of the clouds. Okay, so little guidance on the flight plan marker, flight path marker here. So first of all, if you go down here and on your I'm trying to remember how to do it now. Nope, you want to go probably upper MFD, even though it's technically the lower one. Go to avionics, and then FCS, you want flight path here. There's also SQ and X pointer. Stabilized here. Okay. Okay, so with this style of marker, I guess let me, if you click the other ones, you can see it change. SQ, X pointer, flight path. So this little arrow beside it is kind of like where you would be not gaining or losing speed. So if I throttle back quite a bit and I hold this attitude, you can see that it starts dropping, right? So if I want to maintain my current speed, I put my flight path marker down where that arrow is. And then in this configuration, that would be holding my current speed. Alternatively, if it's below your flight path marker, you're losing speed, and if it's above it, you're gaining speed. So like we throttle up, it'll go above our flight path marker. Which means we're currently gaining speed in this attitude. I want to try and stay out of these clouds here. I thought that was kind of handy to know. not yet figured out what the little bar beside it is. And I'm pretty sure this is pointing to where you're going rather than... but I could be wrong about that. I need to read up on the Honeywell avionics flight path marker a little bit more. I kind of wish it showed if you were climbing or descending, but it definitely doesn't. That's what I would have made it do. I think I'm violating my visual flight rules here a little bit, maybe. I do wonder how strict they are about that. Okay, we're head tracker mode on. We are climbing like crazy. That's what I get for not using an autopilot. Look at that. If I didn't have to deal with reality, I'd love to live out here. So up in here is where Dutch Harbor is. Knot headwind right now. what that 1700 is here. Started on the runway, I kind of expected the lights would already be on. See. I spoke about this once before, but these balls up here are so that your head can be properly aligned. You want the white ball lined up with the blue one. Maybe look about like that. Maybe down a hair, but like that's the least. Oh, look, there we go. So that'd be about aligned. And the co-pilot side would align with that ball. So I think we're about ready to turn into the harbor there, right up in here, I believe. Let's see if that holds. So 1600 at the next waypoint, or I'm assuming below. Well, technically that approach is at 1600. We're not going to be there because I'm trying to stay out of the clouds here. And then then we're down to 500. And we're going to want to start slowing down too. Gear and 15 degrees of flaps. Now that bar on the flight path marker flipped to up. Gear maybe? No, gear is down, not up. Flaps? I don't know. I'm gonna have to freeze the head thing. Kind of a fixed reference. So I'm guessing at this point you should have some idea where you're going. It's pretty clear down here, so we're going to continue. So what we're going to want to do is turn right here just a little bit and head in that way. Just on the other side of this hill is where the runway is, right there. And this kind of marks the path that you want to cross to get in there. This is where some head tracking might help. Some power, and as soon as we get below 130 here, we want to get our full flaps down, add in a little power because it's going to bleed off fast. I want to climb here. I got a little higher earlier, but actually want to hold about 500 until we get onto this little short final. Alright, we got 3 greens down. We got full flaps. We have runway in sight. We can start slowing down to our final approach speed here. We got reds and whites. We got 11 knot crosswind from the right. A little high now. Side. Let's try and line up just a little bit better here. Our touchdown. Way late. And reverse thrust. Go. Welcome to Unalaska. Oops, too much brakes. This is a free downloadable tuning of Unalaska. I don't know what it looks like without it. I've never been here. This looks like a free parking spot. There we go. Gonna get the parking brake set. Get our PADU heat off. Get the other ice protection off. I think we get our generators, what I meant to turn on. I don't think we have any external power here. There's a lot of polygons on the ground here. I wonder if that fence counts as a fence. Nope. Hurts. Oh, there's the airport light. Not seeing any light coming off of it right now. And it's kind of hovering in midair above, I don't know what Headless Horseman or something? What in the world is that? Screenshot time. Of course, there's a little bit better way to do this, which is go into the showcase camera, speed up your drone speed. You can explore all around. Hey, our head turning even works with the drone. There's some kind of cool stuff out here. Why is it so slow? Why does it keep switching? I don't know why it's moving so slowly though. Think about getting one of those cars. Go driving around some of these places. I don't understand why it's moving so slow though. And why does it keep resetting? Normally when I've moved the speed up, it goes really fast. There's like a little town area over here as well. Some docks. This is where I originally took off in the Kodiak. This is not a water runway, but I just spawned down here and flew in. Wondering what this is. Can't tell. Oh, that's cute. Playground equipment. Little airplanes. Buried in the snow. what should we do now? I have 45 minutes. Well, that looks ominous. Zoom to details doesn't do much. Not much of a runway. Grass. Just curious what the weather is like down here. Almost looks like a tropical storm or something.
Tower, Dark Star Charlie Alpha, Hotel 1812, ready at runway 31. Straight out departure. Pretty windy. Got 26 knot winds from the side. Definitely getting bounced around.
far away this is. Not sure what just happened there. Seems to be ignoring me. There we go. Why is it turning that way? Oh. Well, that's why. VNAV armed. Looks like we got a top of descent for 20 minutes from now. Wow. Okay. Not seeing any terrible weather out here. Pretty cloudy, but a little windy. this a little easier on us.
Vertical track.
That's our 1 minute warning. Nice thing about going so fast is it does slow down quickly. Below 210 we can drop our gear to slow down really fast. So let's see, gear at 210, first notch of flaps at 190, second notch at 150. I wish you could add your own speed bugs on here. quite sure where the airport is. So there's that like lake. So maybe here? Maybe that's the airport? Doesn't quite look like one, but I think that's where it is. Coming down. Flaps 1. Approach mode, maybe? I think that is the airport. Okay, localizer is turned green. Currently below the glide slope, so hopefully we'll catch that. Here in a moment. Let's go full flaps. Glide slope locked. I'm going to creep back to about 95. Is that all red? Well, that glide slope, but nautical miles from IMO. It's on 110.9er. Outer marker.
$500.
greens, gear, full flaps. They're all looking good. Middle marker. Autopilot and yaw dampener are off. It's back on the power. That landing rate guy is waiting for us to come to a stop. There we go. Then it gives you additional information. It doesn't give you good information though. Bank angle's okay. Would have already known that. So why didn't it give you bank angle above the cut? Landing speed. Like the extra info is handy. I also wish it logged it somewhere so you had a history of landings. Why it would take you around that way to go get gas. When you land at random airports, it seems to take you to the gas pumps. I feel like that's something new. I don't think it did that before. How can I get actual parking spaces? I don't need much room, I'll just park between you guys. One of these days I need to try out the emergency home system. I've only got 20 minutes, may not be long enough. You should put the engines up here when you turn that one off, like as an emergency thing. And of course they don't have, can't really put the chocks, your little luggage compartment. Man, what a cool little plane. But we can... There we go. There's your engine covers, shocks, speedo covers. Alright, well I got a jet. I'll catch you all later.